Yo, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is your host, DJ Raxkills, Ezekiel Jackson. As always, Easy. Here are the very special guests. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Sailboat the Show.
Sailboat the Show. Now, some of you may not know, some of you may know. Back when I started this show 3 years ago, it's close to like 3 years ago to the day.
Jesus Christ, really?
Yeah, it's close because we were gonna record it during Halloween 2019, and we ended up recording the episode like 2 weeks later in like November of 2019. So it was like almost 3 years ago. We had an episode that we did back in the WECB studio.
WECB.
Back there. And then literally it was on air, but the like recording machine just stopped working in the middle of it, and like it just never like went on to my.
It's a forgotten episode.
Yeah, because 5 people heard it.
Only the true fans.
5 people heard it, and 5 people like still remember the whole thing. Because I had like a whole bit going on, like I had like nature noises in the background. I had a whole thing. I was really happy.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then like at the end, because we knew it was never coming out, but like I had a joke that like a bear was gonna come in, and I played this like really dope bear sound effect, and I was like, oh no, but you didn't have headphones, so you didn't hear it, so you were just like, fuck this, I guess. It was mad funny, but never came out. That was right after Isaac came out. Yeah. And now, 3 years later, we just did the boys only listening party. How'd you like the turnout? You like the reactions you got from the...
Yeah, I liked the turnout. That was the biggest opening party I've ever had.
Yeah.
That was fucking awesome, and thanks to y'all and the whole household and all the connections we have here.
Yes,
like that was awesome.
Yeah.
The speaker, so we bought the speaker from Best Buy like an hour before the party.
Yep.
And we didn't sound test it. So I was disappointed with the audio. It was kind of muddy. I did not like it. But like I liked it. It was a good party, good people, good vibes, and people like the music. So
Yeah. All right. So for those who don't know who you are, from Acton, Massachusetts.
Acton, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
West Acton.
West Acton. Yeah. I know a few more people from there now.
Who? We can talk about this later.
I can't name them, but I do know a few.
Is one of them a white rapper that dropped out of high school?
Yo, deadass.
Is his name Sam?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Wait, hold up. That's so funny, because he's actually on an episode of this podcast.
Oh my god, yes!
Wait, you know?
Yeah, he's from Sackton, yeah.
Bro, that's so funny. Shout out to him. I don't think he follows me on
That's
Instagram.
crazy.
He's on the Devin Ferreira episode. Yeah.
That's insane.
He's on the yeah. That's so, it's him and one other. The other person I can't actually name. I actually can't name it. But no, that's I wasn't even thinking of him when I said that, but shout out to Sam.
Yeah.
I didn't even ask if you knew him when I did that, but yeah, he.
I mean, I do not know him personally.
Oh, okay.
We know all the same people.
Yeah. No, he's a fake radio legend because he was on one. Yeah. All right, yeah. So from there, start playing. When did you start like playing music? Like
playing
music?
Yeah.
Because you play the banjo, but when did you like start playing?
I mean, my parents put me in piano classes, so that's when I started. And that was the only instrument I played. I've never really sung. If you hear my music and you think I'm a good singer, thank you. That is a testament to my editing.
Yeah.
And the banjo, I worked in New Mexico on a ranch. I was a professional Boy Scout for many years.
Yep.
And I worked on a Boy Scout ranch in New Mexico where my job was to play music every night. We played a show every night. And my boss handed me a banjo and said, learn how to play this. So I learned how to play the banjo. And I also learned how to play the harmonica, the accordion, the mandolin, the fiddle. None of them well, by the way. None of them well. Like, very mediocre. Yeah. But I know how to play them. Yeah.
Coolio.
Piano is the only instrument I actually know well.
Okay, yeah. That's cool. So you're also a Boy Scout. Now,
Boy Scout
the
for
last
life.
the last time I interviewed you, I asked you why your name was Sailboat the Show. You told me this crazy story.
Oh, do you want
that
to hear it
apparently
again?
See, alright, but like the microphone, like that's right when shit started going bad. Is right after you told the story, and I didn't realize at the time that you only tell the story when you're drunk, and that was like the first.
I
time
am
you told
drinking.
it.
I'm drinking leftover Jameson right now.
Yeah, well, and that was, but like, see, I just feel like. Do you think it's like a cursed story? Are you into the superstition that like?
No, I was on a podcast like last week for the fucking ranch, and I told the story and that didn't go bad. So.
Oh, okay. Then let's tell the story again.
All right. That was actually the very first time I'd ever told that story sober.
Yeah, originally because I like reacted to the story that time, and originally I wanted like all the homies sitting over there like reacting to the story, but motherfuckers are busy. So
motherfuckers are busy.
They
got lives.
Yeah,
Fuck
bro,
them.
for real. So we can retell the story again, and then they'll hear it for the first time on the because I love the story.
Have they not heard it?
I don't think they had. Have you told us?
At least Dev has heard
Devin,
it.
okay. Mary definitely didn't know it, but.
Anyway, okay.
Wait, you know what's crazy too? Before the episode started, that Sam wasn't like a guest, but he was in the room. He was like listening.
Mm-hmm.
I like mentioned, I was like, oh yeah, one of the episodes like never made it, and I like told that story to him, and he was like, oh, that's crazy. Yeah.
Damn.
All right, but tell why
Sam
is your
definitely
name?
doesn't know that story.
Why he does though? He does.
He does now.
He has for a while. Why is your name Sailboat the Show?
All right, so I was a little Boy Scout at Boy Scout camp in New Hampshire, as one does. Boy Scout camp. And I don't know if there are any Boy Scouts listening, but the way Boy Scout camp works when you're really young is you have these things called merit badge classes, and merit badges are like achievements. So you would take these merit badge classes, and they were like college classes that you would take for a week. And the first day of every week with each of these merit badge classes was always safety. It doesn't matter what the merit badge was, whether it was boating, whether it was canoeing, whether it was grasshopper research, whether it was basketry. No matter what it was, you always had the first day. The entire first day would be on safety. But our like 14-year-old hotshot counselor thought, I'm the cool counselor. I'm so cool. I don't give a fuck about safety, man. I'm the cool counselor. We're just gonna take this class of sailboating merit badge, little scouts, and he gave us life jackets, kind of put them on us himself, didn't even teach us how to put it on, and he said, jump in the water and pick one. So we did that, and I ended up on a sailboat with this little kid, skinny as a pole, probably weighed like 80 pounds, and like, I'm not being mean, that is reality. He actually had a thing where it was hard for him to like build and restore muscle, so like he was a twig, he was a twig master. And I was on the boat with him, and we did the rope thing. I don't remember how we got to the middle of the lake, but we, floated out to the middle of the lake, and the counselor was saying stuff. And keep in mind that this was a stormy day in New Hampshire. This was wind blowing, clouds everywhere, fog everywhere. At that point, we could hardly see the shore. And this counselor, this 14-year-old hotshot, he's yelling at us about how we should da-da and da-da and da-da. I couldn't fucking hear him. And from his body language, from the tone of his voice, I got the general sense that I should like pull a rope or something. So I look around and I find the first rope I see and I pull it. This was not the correct rope. This rope made the sail go down and we went whoosh and we were gone. We caught the wind and we were absolutely fucking gone. We lost sight of them, we lost sight of the shore, we were in the middle of a lake. No sight of anything. This kid that I'm on the boat with is panicking. He gets to the back of the boat with a rudder and he starts going with his arms trying to paddle us back to shore. And I'm like, please let me do that. You don't have any muscles. I'm not being mean, but you don't have any muscles. Poor kid.
Yeah.
And we just kept going, and I start panicking. And I'm like, okay, these other ropes gotta do something. I pull another rope. This was also the incorrect rope. This rope actually disconnected the sail, and the sail went into the water and floated away.
Yeah.
So now we are on this floating little vessel. This floating little plastic vessel that's headed toward nowhere. It's headed toward wherever the tide takes it. And we're there for like half an hour. And we're like, man, maybe there is no land. Maybe this was all a dream.
Maybe.
But finally, we see land. We see the other side of the lake, and we're like, thank God. And we get closer, and we get closer. And then as we get closer, we see this dock with this man on it, and we're like, oh my God, civilization and humanity, we're saved. We're saved.
Yes,
and we start
sir.
yelling. And this guy, as we get closer, we get a better look at him. And I don't know if you've ever been in a remote lake in New Hampshire in July, but whatever associations you have with that, this man encompasses all of that. This man is exactly who you would expect to see on a remote lake in New Hampshire in July.
Absolutely.
This man is shirtless, beer belly, gym shorts, flip-flops.
Yeah.
On his dock, smoking a cigarette. As we get closer, we see liquor under his chair.
Yeah.
And so we stop yelling. We're like, maybe we shouldn't. Maybe this isn't like the ideal thing. Maybe we should just like crash into the shore and just like deal with it ourselves.
Yeah.
But our boat is heading, and again, we have no control over where the boat is going because we don't know how sailboats work.
Right.
Straight to his dock. And he sees us, and he starts to get irate.
Yep.
He starts to fucking yell. He's like, yo, this is my water. I can't do the accent. I can't do a New Hampshire accent.
Yeah.
But this is my water. I fucking own this. He's slurring his speech. He's drunk. And I start yelling back at him because I'm an idiot. And then he reaches under the chair that he's sitting in, and he pulls out a rifle. And at that point, I go, oh shit, he has a rifle. The reason being that he had a rifle.
Yeah.
And he pointed it at us, and I stopped saying anything. And so we have our life vests, and the thing that bothers me is like I can't. The fucking counselor put the life vests on us.
Yeah.
He didn't teach us how to put it on ourselves, so I don't know how to undo the life vest. So I can't take the life vest off. So if I jump into the water to try to escape a rifle, I'm gonna float.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the fuck to do.
Bro, he fucked you.
And this little twig boy in the back, God bless his heart, is still trying to paddle us back to the other shore. And he's pointing the rifle at us, he cocks it, and we're about 10 feet from his dock, and I'm looking straight down the muzzle of this rifle. I don't know if that's the right words. And then out of the mist, out of the white, comes this noise, and then comes a shape, and that shape is a boat. It's a motorboat. It's the motorboat from camp. And they come up, they see us, and they throw us a rope. They say, grab on, and then they look up, and they see this like 60-year-old New Hampshire alcoholic pointing a rifle at a 12-year-old. And that man looks that man in the eye, and he says, fuck off, Gerald. And then they drive us back to camp.
About that part.
So they knew this guy. They knew this guy's name. And from the, I think that this guy's done shit like that before. But anyway, they dragged us back to camp. Poor little twig boy is traumatized. I'm shaking. They bring us ashore. The rest of the merit badge class is there, and they're all making fun of us. And they wanted to call me Motorboat. And one of the older kids was like, we're not gonna call him Motorboat. So they called me Sailboat.
Sailboat, the show.
Sailboat, the show.
If you ever go back to producing rap music, which I got questions about, you should name your you should have your like rap producer name be Fuck Off Gerald.
Fuck off, Gerald.
And then have like someone saying that every time. Yeah. That's hard.
Oh, like my tag?
Yeah, like fuck off. Yeah, that's your producer tag. Yeah. So Isaac came out. That was like a very successful album too, right? Like
Isaac was my most successful to that point, yeah.
Is it still your most successful?
No, Lively Dude is
Oh really?
Well, like
because I checked on Apple Music and all your top songs are or Isaac?
Most of my streaming is not from Apple Music.
Oh,
I don't know why. Okay. I guess I have a Spotify audience. I don't know what to say.
I'm on Apple Music and I be bumping that shit, so.
Isaac was more successful in growing my audience.
Yeah.
Because Isaac was also an album written in New Mexico about the job I had in New Mexico.
Right.
So all my coworkers and all their coworkers had an interest in that music. And actually they're still performing at that camp. They're still performing songs from that album.
That's dope.
Yeah.
And wasn't there like going to be an Isaac 2 at one point?
Oh, there's gonna be.
Oh, still?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
At some point.
It's exciting. And then I think, because Isaac is a different character from...
There's so many characters.
Oh, that's the...
Yeah. So Sailboat's a character. Sailboat is just like a perversion of myself.
Right.
It's like Fleabag. How like Fleabag is not Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Phoebe Bridger-Waller.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's not her, but it is her. But it's just like a fucked up version of her. Yeah. Sailboat is definitely just like a fucked up version of myself.
Right.
But Isaac is not myself. Isaac is very specifically a logger in northern New Mexico in the year 1918.
Right.
So very specifically not myself. And that's because I worked in a place where that was my character. I worked interpretation. That was my job. Yeah. So 24/7, my job was to pretend that I was Isaac, 1918 logger, northern New Mexico, and educate people as they came through about the logging industry.
Yeah. And then you wrote an album. That's dope. And now I gotta ask this question. I had it. I remember I had it last time that I interviewed you, and then I like scrapped it because it was too stupid. I thought it was too stupid. But
no question.
It's season 3. It's season 3. Who is your favorite Isaac? Like if you had all the famous Isaacs.
Oh my God.
In your Pokedex, and you were to choose one Pokemon to battle, who's your favorite Isaac?
Okay, well, as a Boy Scout from Acton, Massachusetts, I would say Isaac Davis.
Okay.
Who I think was the first person to die in the revolution because it was stupid.
There we go.
Yeah, but also the hot Isaac. What's that actor? He was in one of the Star Warses.
Okay.
One of them. Yeah. I don't know. There aren't that many Isaacs out there. It's not a common name. Isaac Newton, fuck him, dude. I could do without gravity.
Isaac Hayes.
Isaac Hayes. That might
the R&B singer.
Oh no, not him. Not many Isaacs to choose from.
Not a lot. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Not a lot of Isaacs. Yeah. All right. So then after that, looking at your discography, you got the album you produced with Andrew Mudicelli. Is after that?
Mudicelli.
Right? Yeah. That's separate from the Bonnie Parker stuff that he does?
Yeah, Bonnie Parker's like his separate band.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is our stuff.
You considering working with him again? Or?
Hell yeah. He's busy though. No. And also, I feel kind of embarrassed because the first couple times that I worked with him on those first 2 albums, like I was a sophomore in college, he was a junior in college, you weren't even in college. And I mean, that was when I was like first working with other people in production. Yeah. And like listening back to those mixes, oh boy.
Is he, he's from LA. Is he like...
He's from like north of LA, I think.
Yeah, no. I'm like, go to parties and I know people who know.
Yeah.
They're like, do you know this guy? I'm like, yeah, I had a few classes with him. But yeah, you don't know if he's still in LA or...
No, he's still in LA. Oh, okay. As far as I know.
Word. Then you did Canary.
That was my quarantine album.
That was your quarantine album.
Yeah.
You're not a fan of that one though, right?
I think it's kind of a tinny mix. But that's just my production brain. I am a fan of that one. Actually, on the Uber on the way here, I put my liked songs on mix, and Navy, the first song on that album, came on, and I got really nostalgic.
There you go.
Because it was just me and Nick, who no one listening to this probably knows Nick, but Nick was my roommate, who we both know, and
that guy.
That guy.
Yeah.
That guy.
Well, I know. People know. This is a different Nick now.
Yeah, and when the original quarantine first hit, when quarantine version 1 hit, and like everything was like really shut down. Yeah. For months, we were on Condor Street in Boston, and everyone else in our apartment left, and it was just me and Nick, and we turned into like a very old married couple. Yeah. And it was just a very odd liminal time.
There you go. And you're seeing him after this episode.
Oh yeah, we're going out with drinks for him right after this.
Did he do the art for Canary?
He did the art for Canary completely separate from Canary. So he did like a series about the concept of falling.
Yeah.
And he was showing me that one night while we were drinking by ourselves in our apartment during quarantine, because that's what everyone did.
Yeah.
And he was like flipping through and he was like, look at this, look at this, look at this. And I was like, stop. That, can I, I'm sorry, but can I fucking take that?
Gotta take that.
Can I take that? And he let me take it. And yeah.
And then got Wifely Duties.
Wifely Duties, he did the art for that.
Album listening party at the crib that we're recording in. Got Boys Only. So that's gonna be a trilogy.
Yeah, as far as I know.
What made you decide to do a trilogy?
Because there are two, and 2 is a really dumb number.
Yeah.
By 2, I mean the album covers are based on old books. I collect old books because I'm dumb and I'm a nerd. But Wifely Duties was based on an etiquette book from 1941 that was given to me by my great-grandmother before she died. Yeah. Which is hilarious, and I wish everyone could read it. This one is based on a book I found in a thrift shop in New Mexico from 1951, I think, called For Boys Only, but we dropped the 4 because that's confusing. Yeah. And it's actually a book about puberty, and like it's a book that you would give to your teenage boy because you don't actually want to talk to him about anything. Right. And you'd be like, don't ask me any questions, read this book, and it's about puberty and sexuality and stuff.
So then the next one's going to be based on like an old book from that period?
Yeah, I think so. I have many. I'm shopping it right now.
Bet. And then, so what's the next? So then I was listening to, I was watching your TikToks, and you said something about how the song Rich Men is based on like your time in Atlanta staying with a rich dude.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Do you want me to talk about that?
If you want. Yeah.
That's a whole story. Do you want to hear the story?
I think I know the story because I saw your TikTok, but you can tell the story for the.
Okay. Well, that was a sanitized version because TikTok would have taken it down if I told the full.
Oh really? Yeah. No. Tell the full.
Okay. Where do I start? Okay. So I'm traveling from Boston to New Mexico. Just because I had a job there. Yeah. And I'm on Greyhound because I don't have any money. And the way Greyhound works, for some reason, fucking Greyhound always from the northeast to the southwest. Yeah. Always routes you through Georgia instead of going through like Ohio and Kentucky and Missouri. Mm-hmm. Like it always takes you down like the lower L. And I guess, I mean, it must make sense on some level. Yeah. I don't understand why, but like it always takes you down the lower L. Mm-hmm. So you always go through the Carolinas, Georgia, and then across the Bible Belt. Mm-hmm. So I arrive in Atlanta, and I don't remember exactly why I missed my bus. There was some reason. Oh, wait, was this the same? Oh no! Oh my god! I need to start earlier. Okay, yeah. No, this was a whole fucking deal. Yeah, okay, yeah. I forgot about this. Yeah, bro. Okay, so I'm in Manhattan. Mm-hmm. Is that where I should start? There wasn't any bullshit before that, right?
Why were you in Manhattan?
I think I was just going to New Mexico.
Okay.
For time's sake, I'm gonna start in Manhattan because I don't remember how I got to Manhattan. Yeah. But I'm in Manhattan and I'm trying to get to New Mexico. And I'm broke as fuck, so I'm taking the cheapest buses possible. So actually, forget Greyhound. It wasn't a Greyhound. Forget Greyhound.
It's a Greyhound. Isn't it a Greyhound in the song?
The song, again, Sailboat is a character. Right. The song is not a reflection of a reality. But I'm in Manhattan. I find a cheap-ass bus line out of Chinatown. Yeah. And they're like, we can get you to Charlotte for $100. I was like, what? They're like, yeah, we can get you to Charlotte for $100. Yeah. That's like 400, 500 miles. Yeah. I was like, okay, bet. So I bought a ticket. I get on the bus. We start driving. As soon as we get over the Virginia state line, this bus starts stopping at every single liquor store.
Yeah.
Like on the same block. Like
bro, what the fuck?
Like for hours and hours. And what they were doing is they were buying up all the cartons of cigarettes that they had, and they were putting them in the bathroom. So the grift that this bus company had was it was a bus company in quotes. Yeah. And they were just going over Virginia state lines to buy a whole bunch of cigarettes to sell them in Manhattan without the taxes. That was pretty clear, pretty quick. So that went on for hours, and eventually they ran out of space in the bathroom. Yeah. And they still had a bus of people that needed to get to Charlotte. So they were like, okay, we'll drive you to Charlotte. We have all our cigarettes. We'll drive you to Charlotte. So they drive us to Charlotte. And then, like 30 miles out of Charlotte, the bus driver gets a phone call. And he's speaking in Mandarin. I don't understand it. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but it crescendos in volume and drama. And eventually he's screaming. And he pulls us into a parking lot like 30 miles out of Charlotte. Yeah. And he says, all right, everybody that wants to go to Charlotte, get out here. You're like 30 miles out, get a taxi. Yeah. Otherwise, this bus is going to Atlanta. Yeah. And I was like, Right, yeah. I don't have money for a taxi. I spent all my money on this bus ticket. Yeah. So I guess I'm going to Atlanta. So that's what happened, and I ended up in Atlanta, and he dropped me off in downtown. So now I'm in Atlanta. Yep. And it's like 7 p.m. and I don't have any money for a place to stay. Yeah. So I open up my phone and I'm like, you know what? I'm a young, scrawny gay man. So I open up Grindr. Yep. As one does. And I change my bio to no sex, need a bed. Yeah. Or something like that. And I get a whole bunch of like requests, like exactly what you would expect, like, playing hard to get. What if I slid my Yeah. A whole bunch of that shit. Yeah. And then this one guy was like, okay, yeah, dope, heard. Need a bed? Word. Come over. So I go over to this guy's house. And this guy is rich. This guy is rich as fuck. Yeah. And like he mansion? Like what? We're in a mansion? Yes, so he's in like I forget how Atlanta is set up, but he's like on the southeast side of downtown, which is like the rich side, which I might be wrong about. Whatever the rich neighborhood of Atlanta is, he was in the rich neighborhood of Atlanta. Yeah. And he had a penthouse, not a penthouse. He had a double-story apartment with floor-to-ceiling windows, like 20-foot windows. 2 beautiful dogs, which were lovely. Yeah. Just like insanely rich. And he like baked me chicken. He was very sweet. He was like 50 years old, whatever. Yeah. He ran like 2 very successful porn websites. So like
which one?
I don't remember which ones, but he said like one of them was one of if not the most successful like trans porn websites in America. And he was, I don't know if any of this is true, but this is what he told me. He was like, not like he was recently like on tour across America as like I'm not sure. Yeah, he was on tour. Yeah. Doing that shit. But yeah, insanely rich. And he baked me chicken. And again, like the basis of this whole interaction was no sex, need a bed. Yeah. So we had dinner, no sexual stuff happened. Yep. We went to go to bed, and then he tried to like, we went to bed, he locked the door. Locked the door from the outside.
So you were locked into...
I was locked into his room, which I was like, okay, hello. Yeah. How are you? And he was like, I do that just because like I have a lot of meth heads here, and they steal my stuff, so this is just a precaution. Yeah. And I was like, okay, but I'm locked in here. Yeah. But like I did at that point, at the point that like a 60-year-old rich man locks you in his bedroom is not the time to get aggressive. At least in my head, I might be wrong. I'm probably wrong, but
Yeah, I don't know.
my brain at that point was like, you know what? Let's just take a deep breath and not do anything.
Yeah.
So he gets in bed and he starts to like try to rape me. And I'm like, no. The agreement was no sex, need a bed.
It's in the bio, bro.
It's in the bio, bro.
Yeah.
And like he backs off. He backs off. And I pretend to go to sleep. And then it's like midnight at this point.
Midnight.
He at this point gets back on Grindr and finds another boy.
How old was this dude?
17.
Oh, so like a minor.
Yeah, a minor.
Yeah, okay.
So he finds another boy.
And you're like 19 at this time? Or 20?
I don't remember, man.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And he finds another boy, and this other boy comes over. I'm pretending to be asleep because I don't want to fucking provoke anything from this guy. And this is getting very dark, but it's very funny in the end, trust me. So this other guy comes over, and it's one bed. Mm-hmm. There's not another bed. Yeah. So this other guy gets in, they start to cuddle, and they're like, man, we should put on a movie to be romantic. And they're like, yeah. And so they open up Netflix and they start to browse, and like these two people don't know each other. It's like a middle-aged man and a 17-year-old.
Netflix and chill.
Yeah, Netflix, trying to Netflix and chill, and like they're not even speaking the same fucking like language.
Yeah.
And so they finally settle on playing A Wrinkle in Time, a children's movie starring Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah.
About finding your true form and meaning and finding your estranged father. So they put that on, and I am pretending to be asleep on this side of the bed, and as Oprah Winfrey tells these young children to believe in themselves, these two guys go to fucking town on each other. And that was my night. I was locked into that room, and that was my night.
That's your night.
That's crazy.
Did you also visit the like museum of trap music?
Yeah. I've been to the trap music museum.
You texted me. You were like, check out the museum.
Museum. Dude.
Yeah.
They had a whole exhibit.
That.
They had a whole exhibit on Nicki Minaj, and then, or I don't remember Nicki Minaj or like some artist doing art for Nicki Minaj, but they also had an exhibit that was like, it was this little room, and it was just two computers with FL Studios pulled up, and I was like, hello? And they were like, yes, this is the exhibit. I was like, can I just fuck around on this? And they were like, yeah, that's the point. Fuck around on FL Studios.
Didn't they have the like pink 2 Chainz house?
I think so. They had the car.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They had the car. All right. Word.
It was dope. That was really fun.
But see that it's crazy how that crazy night transformed into amazing. One of my favorite Sailboat the Show songs.
Oh yeah.
And I probably heard that story before, and I would have never put it together that song is about that situation.
It's vague. It's vague.
How much of your songs are based on like reality, and how much of them are based on like your?
They're all based on something.
Yeah. Okay.
Sometimes like I water down a lot of stuff. Like if like that story that I just told. I could write a really insane song about that, and maybe I should. That would probably be a really fun song.
Yeah.
But like Richmond is a very, very, very watered down version.
It's a very
of that
simple
story.
song, but it's like there's enough details to know. Like when you were telling the story on the TikTok, I was like, oh shit, that's what this is about. Yeah.
But like my most insane lyrics are usually like if you ever listen to my music and you're like, what the fuck did he just say? That's probably like 100% correct in my life. So like on like for Boys last night, there's a verse on one of the songs that's he picks me up in a Scion truck acting like I know the Phoenix Suns, and his dog has a seizure on the Circle K at Rita, and you're so fucking dumb. And you ask me to leave, and I buy 2 packs before I get myself a ride, and you text me at 10 trying to try again now that bitch has died. 100% true, no lie. All of that happened.
Damn.
Same thing with the first verse where this guy, I fucking slept with this guy on the first date at his mom's house. He didn't tell me it was his mom's house.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, and I was like, bro, you didn't tell me it was his mom. I heard that last night. I was like, bruh.
Yeah, didn't tell me it was his mom's house. Next morning, woke up. He was like, "You want breakfast?" I was like, "Sure." Went downstairs, and there was Diane, and Diane was like, "Hello."
Crazy.
Now I know Diane.
What's up, Diane? And then wait, you got. Because on the, let me just go to the new album, which, when is it, so it's not out now, but when is it going to be out?
I think I'm going to make myself get it out by, so Saturday, so Friday midnight.
Okay, so it'll be out before this is out.
Yeah.
So, wait, so on the song, is the song about like where you're in Baltimore, is that like?
I've never been to Baltimore.
Right.
A lot of this album is Picasso. A lot of this album is nonsense.
Okay. What about the one where it's like you were talking about being on the blue line? I was like, I met you when you lived off the blue line. What's going on over here?
Did I ever break up with anyone on the blue line? I don't think the blue line. Definitely the red line. I definitely broke up with someone on the red line.
It's true because I write songs for like shit sometimes, and I wrote a song about breaking up with someone on Downtown Crossing. So there you go.
That'd be a really stressful place to break up with someone.
For real. That didn't actually do that, but it's on the song. Nah. What's like the craziest experience that you've had that you have put into a song? Would you say it's Rich Men or?
I wouldn't say it's Rich Men because again, Rich Men is like a really sanitized version of it, so I wouldn't say I put that into a song. I don't know how to answer that.
Yeah.
The dog. The dog having a seizure at the Circle K. That's
a crazy one.
I mean, okay, I shouldn't laugh. Like, poor dog.
No,
poor dog. But that guy was such a dumb asshole.
That's spooky.
And the dog, by the way, okay, wait, let me put this in context.
Yeah.
The dog, I later learned, the dog was fine. The dog was absolutely fine.
Yeah, no.
But that night, he texted me being like, "Hey, come over, I'm emotional, my dog just died." He told me his dog died.
Bro, why are you capping like that?
For dick.
Bro, don't lie on your dog's name. Bro.
Oh my god.
Don't be doing that shit.
Yeah, so probably that so far, but like, you know, we'll get to it.
That's on Boys Only. Listen now.
Listen to Boys Only. It's all about dead dogs.
Yeah. Yeah. Alright, so you also have you're in a band, Charlie's Revenge.
Yeah, well, previously. It was a band of the moment.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. How'd that formation?
So we were working in the New Mexico ranch,
right?
About 12 miles from civilization. No electricity, no cell service or anything.
Yep.
But I bought a big ass fucking battery, because our job was to put on a show every night. So we were all musicians, and we put on a show for the people that came through that camp every night. And we had this whole show with all these skits and all this music and all these characters, and it was a very stressful job because we were understaffed and we were like dealing with 300 to 400 people a day.
Yeah.
And we were 7 people about.
Yeah.
It was just very stressful, and my stress relief is mixing music because I'm a nerd.
Yeah.
So I was very stressed, and I was like, you know, what would help me emotionally is to like record this show. Like record it, multi-track record it, and mix it and produce it. That would actually like very much emotionally help me. Yeah. So on my off days when I hiked back to civilization, I bought a big ass battery that held about 3 computer charges, and we hiked it. I didn't hike it back up, but it was a relay race because like I was stuck in this place for weeks at a time. So every time the battery ran out, I would like give it to someone and be like, "Where are you hiking? Okay, take this battery, charge it, and mail it back to us." Yeah. And so it was a relay race of that and that and that and that over and over and over again of me recording like track by track by track by track of like 7 vocalists and like a million fucking instrument tracks. Yeah. And it all came together on one night. It was my last off day of the season, and it was only 24 hours that I had off. Yeah. And I lived like 12 miles from civilization. So in those 24 hours, I had to hike those 12 miles, catch a bus to internet access, like finalize the mix, master it, distribute it, and then catch a bus back and hike the 12 miles back in the morning. So I didn't sleep that night, and that was incredibly stressful. But altogether, it came through, and I'm super proud of that album and everyone that worked on that album. And it's called Charlie's Revenge, and it's super camp, literally camp.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of American folk music. It's good. It's about logging. It's not about logging. It's actually about mining and caving.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's good. So you've been traveling all across the country. What's like your favorite city?
Austin.
Austin.
I can't afford to live in Austin. I might be able to. I live in Phoenix.
Yeah.
Austin is the only other city besides Boston that I went to, and I was like, I could actually live here. Like, I could actually live here. I would love to live in LA because everyone I know is in LA.
Yeah, you do know a lot of people in LA now. Yeah, you've had your.
Yeah, I went to movie school. That's what happens.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Word. Would you want to do like an Austin album?
I don't know what that would be. What would that be?
That would be, yeah.
I was only in. I've spent like a cumulative. I hate that word. I've spent like 6 days of my life in Austin total. So like I don't actually know the city.
Right. But then what? Yeah. Okay.
I just like this vibe.
Cool. Cause you got like, cause I've heard you play the song Playing Around. You were like, this is my LA song. I was like, oh, this is kind of.
Dev says that's my LA song.
Oh,
Dev heard that and Dev was like, this sounds like LA. And I recorded it in Jack's basement or in Jack's garage. Yeah.
Oh, see, okay, because when I first heard the song, your listening part, you were like, this is the LA song, and I was like, oh, this is his.
Oh, well,
LA song.
Even if I said that idea came from Dev, and I guess it is. I was in LA.
Yeah, you did record it in LA.
I was also in LA when I recorded Richmond, so.
Oh yeah. And so now you're in Phoenix, working a tech job.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you liking it?
Like is a very strong word.
Yeah.
I think that the tech industry is a bubble that is gonna pop, and it's really interesting to be on the inside and just see all the dysfunction.
Yeah.
And that's really all I have to say about that. Like I really don't know what's going on, and I'll be honest, I don't know what my job is. There are weeks go by that I really like. I wake up in the morning and I check my email and it's like, okay, I have no direction. I have zero things to do. And then there are weeks that it's like you have to get the certification in 5 days, and it's like a 128-hour certification.
It's crazy.
So
it's crazy. Yeah. When you were training, you were staying here with me. This was like my second night in.
Yeah, I was staying in your room before you moved in.
You were staying in my room and then I moved in, and then you sleptwalked into my room and you started saying some coding shit. I tell people that story all the time. It's so funny.
I'm so sorry about that.
No, it was so I
was so stressed in that period.
It was so funny,
sorry.
dude. I was so confused, and then I was like, this motherfucker's sleepwalking. And then I've never had like a lock to my door. Or no, I haven't. So I locked my door. I was like, I can't have any more sleepwalking going on. Then I went to bed, and then like the next morning I was like, I really hope that this kid does not know what the fuck he did last night. Cause like, I really like I'd be more confused if he knew. And then I was like, yo, what did you do last night? He was like, what? And I was like, perfect. He doesn't know.
I was talking about Apex, right?
Yeah, you walked in, I was sleeping, you walked in, and then I was like, hello, and then you were like, hey, do you want to test for the test? And then I was
I was talking about Apex testing.
And then I was like, what? He's like, you want to test for the Apex code? And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then he's like, okay, I'm gonna go coding, I'll be right back. I was like, okay, I checked the time, it's like 2 a.m. I was like, okay, and then
oh my god.
Luckily I was like not asleep yet. I was like going to sleep, you know? So like you didn't like wake me up doing that.
Thank God.
I wasn't like asleep.
Apex testing. For all you coding people out there listening to this music podcast.
Yeah.
Shout out to Apex testing.
Apex, yeah. I deadass thought you were talking about the famous video game Apex Legends, but
Unfortunately.
yeah, that's how I knew it wasn't like in my dream, because like I was like, how the fuck would I know about Apex testing if Apex code if it wasn't real? All right, so write a lot of music, produce a lot of music. Who are your like favorite songwriters, favorite artists, people you look up to?
So to preface this answer, I don't listen to a lot of music.
Yeah.
And I know you've heard that before. I've told everyone I know that before.
Yeah. That's why I want to know like which ones.
Yeah, music. I'm obsessed with. I'm in love with the process of creating music.
Yeah.
And doing music with other people, and just
Musical
the whole process
genius.
of the creation of music. That I'm obsessed with that. And then when you get the mix just right and everything is perfect, and you listen back and you're like,
yes, sir.
Je m'appelle. I'm obsessed with that.
Yeah.
But listening to music, just like straight up listening to music, I'd rather listen to a podcast.
It's trippy though, because you're like a really good songwriter. Like I'm listening, like every time, like I'm like, damn, like this is really good. Like these are really good lyrics. But
so my lyrical inspirations are very limited.
Yeah.
Nate Roos from Fun.
that's nobody knows about him, but I like grew up on that. I grew up on Nate Roos for sure.
Nate Roos is a lyrical genius.
For real?
Yeah, he's stupid sometimes. We all are. But Nate Roos is a lyrical genius when he wants to be.
Yeah.
For lyrics, I'm going to say something very controversial. Mm-hmm. And I do, in fact, want everybody listening to this podcast to judge me for this, because I do, in my soul, feel like I do deserve ridicule for this. But Pat Monahan, the lead singer of the band Train.
Okay.
Immaculate songwriter. One of the best songwriters of our
That's like
generation.
Soul Sister, right?
Hey Soul Sister.
Yeah.
Yeah, Drops of Jupiter, all that shit.
Okay.
I honestly believe he's one of the best lyricists of our generation. In fact, I stole one of his lyrics for Boys Only.
Okay.
In the last song about suicide.
Yeah.
It's a shame that youth is wasted on the young and the stupid. His line was, "It's a shame that youth is wasted on the young," which that line gets me every fucking time. And it's a song about his mom dying. And it's a song about he and his wife dying, and him finally being able to introduce his wife to his dead mom. Tragic.
That's
tragic.
Cool. That's cool.
And in the bridge, there's the line, "It's a shame that youth is wasted on the young." Which, like, holy shit, that line kicks me in the fucking gut.
Nate Roos has a lot of songs about family too, because I remember that one like really sentimental song about his grandparents.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Gambler.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. I also stole one of his lines for this album. In the last song, "Happy."
Yeah.
At the end of the first verse, I feel older now than I've ever felt before. Mm-hmm. I'm sure by now it only gets much worse. It Only Gets Much Worse is a Nate Roos song from his only solo album, which was tragically not that good. But there was a ballad on there called "It Only Gets Much Worse," which is gut-wrenching. Yeah. Other lyrical influences, I don't know. I mean, Sondheim, but specifically one song. Specifically Your Fault from Into the Woods. Specifically that song. All right. Specifically that song. Because, like, I don't know if you've noticed in my lyrical style, like, I like recycling words and just, like, recycling patterns in words to make them mean different things. And, like, that's what Sondheim does. Yeah. And, like, I learned that from him, and I'm not that good at it, but, like, it's fun. You're
good enough at it that I'll catch it. Like, it's cool.
Oh, and also Steven Universe.
Yeah. And don't you also like Over the Garden Wall? Cause
I mean, that's just New England Gothic.
Yeah. That's true. Have you listened? Wait, so did you listen to like Nate Roos's band before Fun?
The Format?
Yeah, The Format.
Of course, yeah.
Okay, where?
That's some of their best work. That's some of his most lyrical work. Yeah.
My parents were like, they listened to like random stuff, but like The Format and Fun were like the two like.
They listened to The Format before Fun became famous.
Yeah. I think like because my parents listen to like, they were trying to put me onto like hipster kid music, and Nate, I forget if he was with the format or if he was with Fun, but he had like a kid song on this album. I think it was like, I forget if it was, I don't think it was 480, but I think it was like around that time, like 2009, 2010, around that time.
Yeah, I mean, Fun released 2 albums.
Yeah.
2012, and I forget what the first one was.
I'm not crazy about the 2012 one. I just like the...
Okay,
like
so if we're talking about production influences, if we want to pivot into that, Jeff Basker.
Yes.
Number 1 production influence in my life. Jeff Basker, because of the space he creates and like the depth of the percussion that he creates. Yeah. Incredible. Mm-hmm. And like that's the weird thing about the 2 Fun albums is like the first one was like a weird rock, like indie rock circus album, which was incredible in its own right. It was like super fucking weird.
That's the one I really like, the one I grew up on.
Yeah, and then like the second one was like a thing, like it was a mood. A lot less lyrics, like.
That's the one that won a Grammy for, though.
Well, yeah, that's the one that got popular. Yeah. But like lyrically, the second one is like not. It's not S tier.
No.
Like the first one is S tier, obviously. Yeah. Like the second one, much more kneels into like vague lyrics and like representation and stuff. But like the production, oh my fucking god! The first time
that's Jack Antonoff.
Oh yeah, as the guitarist. I don't know how much he had to do with the production.
Right. He became the famous Jack Antonoff.
The Jack Antonoff. I love him so much.
You listen to Bleachers as well?
Yeah, I listen to Bleachers.
I don't listen to Bleachers that much, but
I think Bleachers has a lot more of his experimental shit. Yeah. Sometimes it fucking smacks, and sometimes I think the production actually does get in the way of it. Okay. But it's fun. Like I like the Bleachers. The Bleachers are a lot of energy. I like it. Yeah. It's funny listening to like the different pieces. Like when a band breaks up and they go in their musical different directions. Yeah. It's really funny to listen to like which parts of the band came from which parts, because like if you listen to Fun in its absolute sense, you're like, oh, Nate Roos is like the main guy, and he must like come up with the melodies and the lyrics and like the arrangements and stuff. And then when they separate and Nate Roos releases a solo album and Jack goes on and releases Bleachers, and you're like, oh, okay, I see the different elements of how this came together. Yeah. It's weird. I don't know. Anyway, we're getting off track.
Nice. This is the fun thing. Cause see, I mostly listen to rap and R&B, but like one of the like 10 albums, like I listen to Yosha obviously, but one of the like 10 like big albums that like that's not either of those things is the first Fun album.
Aim and Ignite.
Yeah, Aim and Ignite, yeah.
Yeah, I have a very vivid memory of listening to that album. Actually, it's a bad memory because I was in my mom's living room, and I was listening to that album after school, and this was like when I first decided that I wanted to be a musician. Yeah. And then I listened to the album and I was like, oh my god, I am such a bad musician. Like holy fucking shit. Like the random fucking shit that they just like throw in there, just like a It's like, oh my god. Like I would have to study years to be able to do that one thing, and they just like threw that in there. True. Damn.
Are you hip to Nate Roos's like more recent collaborations? Obviously, Headlights.
I saw him on. I mean, that wasn't more recent. That was before his solo project.
Oh yeah.
And that was also Jeff Basker, I think.
Right. And then, but did you hear Jeff Basker and Nate Roos come back on the Young Thug album?
Yeah, and he was on SNL, right?
Yeah.
I saw him. I had no idea. I was living with my parents, and at that point, and we were watching SNL because that's one of the only things I can like do with my parents that's not unhealthy. Yeah. And we were watching SNL, and fucking Nate Roos shows up on stage, and I'm like, that's Nate Roos! Yeah, and they're like, who the fuck? And I'm like, that's Nate Roos. He's got a weird mustache now. I don't like it, but that's Nate Roos.
I had a similar thing. I was with John and Adam when that album came out, and they're not like free YSL, by the way. Because that he's locked up right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, man. But, so that album comes out, and homies John and Adamir, shout out, they're on the podcast all the time. We were in the car, and I was like, they weren't like as big Young Thug fans, but I was like, you gotta listen to this one song. And then I played it, expecting that they would like know who Nate Roos was, and they're like, who is? I was like, oh, okay.
If you know, you know, and most people don't.
You know. If you know, you know. All right, so then production influences Jeff Basker. Is there any other?
Jeff Basker, Max Martin, to be a basic bitch.
Yeah.
Because I love experimental producers, but holy shit, the ability of like Max Martin to just like get to the fucking point and just like get to that point in your brain where that it releases the good feeling chemicals.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he's so good at that, and I want to do that. That's all I want to do with music is release good chemicals in the brain.
Yeah.
And he's so good at that.
Yes, sir.
And sometimes he creates trash, but we all do.
Yeah.
What else? Jeff Basker, Martin, Jack Antonoff when he's in his A game.
Yeah.
He can really like. I know Taylor Swift fans hate "Look at What You Made Me Do," but production wise, that is such a weird, funny, awesome track.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not at all a Taylor Swift fan.
No, me neither.
Yeah.
I am not a Taylor Swift fan, but I am a fan of that one song because
Look
it
What
is
You
so.
Made Me Do.
It is so weird.
I can't with that song because it sounds too much like I'm too sexy for my shirt.
I don't care.
I like that song. But word. Any others or those are your like main three?
No, I got lots.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't.
It's all good if you got it. Nah. So also
None that I can think about.
I gotta talk about something because I didn't ask about this on the first podcast because I was on the radio. We had to keep it a little clean, but now we independent now, so we can do whatever. Your song, number one song, "Fuck the Gays."
Fuck the gays.
It's on all the homophobic playlists.
Yeah, it
But
is.
but it's by
Represent.
you. Talk about the fallout, the reactions from that one song.
I love. Well, I hate that song.
You hate that song?
Let me just preface that I hate that song.
Okay.
That song was the product of. I had the honor and the privilege to get into the Berkeley program in Valencia for a semester.
Okay.
So I was in Spain in the basement of a dorm room.
Yeah.
A dorm building in Valencia with this fucking guy who's now working with Disney on scores and shit for their streaming shit. Incredibly talented pianist. That is not me on the piano.
Yeah.
I am
that's
not
him.
that good. And we were just in the basement, and I was like, just play something. We were drunk as fuck.
Yeah.
I was like, just play something, and I'm just gonna riff over it. So that's Fuck the Gays.
Yeah.
That's Fuck the Gays.
That's Fuck the
That's
Gays.
how it happened. I woke up the next morning and I found this file on my computer, and I was like, oh, this must have happened. And that's Fuck the Gays. I don't like the song. I mean, I do like the song.
I like this song.
I think it's fun. It's
Yeah.
fun. It's catchy. There's one riff in it that I do that I don't know how I did it drunk.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how I did that drunk.
But you get asked about it a lot, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's ambiguous. The song is called
Right.
"Fuck the Gays."
You're not.
I drop the faggot slur in it a lot.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the F slur.
All good.
But a lot of alt-right groups have
A lot of alt-right.
a lot of alt-right groups have heard that song and been like, "Yo, this dude gets it. Yo,
They still, after
this
hearing
dude
it,
gets
they don't realize like.
They don't. A lot of people don't realize YouTube had to block the comments on my video, which sucked because that was one of the lights of my life. Was every
But what
few,
were the comments though? Like.
the comments? It was just
He's
like incredibly
correct, like-
homophobic shit.
I get-
but
yeah,
like,
yeah.
it was so funny because it was like, it was such vulgar homophobic shit. And they just didn't know. Like, it wasn't
They didn't
homophobic
know.
shit like, fuck you, you're gay. It was homophobic
Yeah.
shit like, yo, bro, you're so fucking right.
Dude.
And I just felt like I was in. I
could've-
was in the
you could have
crowd.
gone. You could have made like a bunch of like songs,
Mm-hmm.
like esque "fuck the gays," where it's like it's
Yeah.
a little more ambiguous, so people don't know like what you're actually talking about, and just gone undercover in the
Yeah,
in the
dude.
alt-right community.
Maybe I should have.
You wouldn't.
It seems more lucrative.
Does it though?
I mean, Fuck the Gays is my top song, so yeah, it does.
Yeah. I guess.
We have 1 point of data.
That's true. Like, yeah, there's because that was on your first album. You dropped many albums since.
And that was the first Sailboat album, yeah.
Yeah. No. Do you drop very quickly? What's your like? Do you just constantly writing new music?
Well, I don't perform live, so that saves time.
Are you ever like? Do you ever want to perform?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
Live performance is not really a medium that I'm interested in.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's not really a medium I'm interested in.
Okay.
Because the way I experience the best way I experience music personally is when I'm
Yeah.
alone
Yeah.
by myself.
Yeah.
I have a little beer, and I can walk around in a space and I can just listen to music by myself on my headphones, and that's to me that is the best way to experience music.
Yeah.
Obviously not for everyone, but live performance to me is just very stressful, and I don't get the
Yeah.
appeal.
Would you do like a
Like
house show?
I've
or
never
would you-
been to a live music performance. Like I've never been to a tour.
Yeah. Would you do like a house show like the?
I've
Like-
done a house show. I don't know
Yeah.
if you were there, right, in Eastie.
I think I got invited, but I was.
Jonah Free hosted it.
Like yeah, that was like right when I like entered this group. So yeah.
Yeah, I did a live show there. With an accordion. I performed "Thank You Next" by Ariana Grande on an accordion.
There we go. Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm much. People make a lot of noise about like people that are like so much better live than in person, and like, holy shit, that's awesome. I wish I could do that. I wish
Yeah.
I could be better live than in person. But like,
Yeah,
bitch, I'm a producer.
No, yeah.
I am 100% confidently and with no insecurity better not in person.
That's cool.
Trust me.
That's good though that you're like owning it, because some people
Yeah.
like they're like you, but they want to be like a performer guy, and then they like they like waste their time doing that.
Because someone last night at the party came up to me and they were like, "Yeah, when are you performing live?" And I looked at him and I was like, "How would I perform any of that live?"
Dude.
Because like, Easy's listened to the album.
Yeah.
It's like the arrangements are many instruments.
Yeah, it's a lot of instruments too.
A lot
You
of
want,
instruments.
like you gotta get like a whole band to
Yeah.
do that shit. Yeah. Nah, but see like Frank Ocean, who is my favorite artist of all time,
Love him, yeah.
amazing songwriter. He's been popping for years. He's only performed live 60 times.
Damn, right?
And a lot of those are just like guests, pop-ups. He never performs live. That's just... He may
See, that-
someday.
that's what I
'cause He's
want.
so prolific, but like... He only has like a few interviews too. He knows what he's...
I like
what he's good at.
interviews.
No, yeah, no.
I like
No,
talking.
no.
I don't like singing.
Yeah. But like he knows... He's an introvert. Like, I mean, he has mad songs where he's just talking about being an introvert. And that's just what he does. Like, I
Yeah.
respect. He wrote, fun fact, he wrote a bunch of songs on the first Justin Bieber EP from like 2009, 2010.
Baby, baby, baby.
No, before that.
There was a before, a baby? The before
Yeah.
time?
One Less Lonely Girl.
Oh my god.
That shit. Yeah. That EP is a banger. That's the only I don't listen to Justin Bieber at all. I fucking hate that guy. Hate his music, but I like that. Just kidding, Justin. If you listening, come on.
Yo, fuck you, Justin
Come on.
Bieber, personally.
Yo, but if he wants to come on fake radio, then yo. But no, that first album Like I was in an elevator one time and I put on a song from that, and someone looked at like what I was. He was like, "Why is this fucking 20-year-old listening to Justin Bieber on his way to a fucking 8 a.m.?" I was like, "It's good.
It's good."
2020, my depression year. I think that was like in the top 10 most listened to. Was like one of his songs. All right, so bit into how we met. You were producing for the Hip Hop Society.
Yeah.
How'd you get into that? How'd you find yourself in the Hip Hop Society?
Well, okay. Well, I was in a class that was talking about artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
And stuff like the streaming algorithms for Spotify and Apple Music and all that shit.
Yup.
And it sparked my interest. And we had to do, I can't remember exactly what happened, but we had to do like some project about the idea of artificial intelligence and streaming. And I was like, okay, well, I know how to produce. What if I researched what people know about the algorithms and I tried to produce a beat that like fulfilled those check marks on the algorithm.
Yeah.
And so I produced the beat for Slow Down.
Okay.
And then Trevor heard that.
Yeah.
My roommate and active member, or a then active member of the Hip Hop Society.
The Hip Hop Society. I still rock with everyone on the Hip Hop Society, but
do they still exist?
I don't think that it's functioning right now at Emerson, and I don't think that there's ever gonna be another.
There will be another, but it won't be called that.
Yeah, there'd be another, but it wouldn't be called that. So I think it's safe to say that it's kind of just like Odd Future. Like it's like everyone's still friends. It's all cool, but it's never gonna be what it was. So I don't think I think the Hip Hop Society is not a thing right now.
No.
I think we
anyway.
Can say, let's be on the point.
This is personal shit.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So
I produced
Trevor
that beat,
brought you
and Trevor was like, you should come to this meeting. And I had no fucking idea what the Hip Hop Society was, because like that was when it was in its infancy.
Yeah.
And people were just figuring it out, and like there was this vague idea of maybe we should like record music and release it. But like there was no clear way forward. And then Trevor brought me in, and I went to this meeting, and I felt very out of place because I knew no one. I don't know if you were at that meeting. I think you were.
What, 2018 or 2019? No,
I was on Condor Street, so you were at least in school.
I was in school, but I didn't join until 2019.
Okay.
So yeah.
You weren't at that meeting.
No.
So yeah, I walk in and I feel very out of place. But Trevor had like apparently like sold my beat very highly.
Yeah.
And so they get to the end of the meeting and they're like, okay, you're Isaac, you're Sailboat, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. And they're like, all right, play your beat. And I played my beat, and they had all written verses to my beat without my knowledge. Yeah. They had all written verses to my beat, and I played my beat, and they just start spitting, and I'm just sitting in my little like university little like twisty chair, like watching these people rap to my beat, and I'm like, I don't know. That was a feeling I've never had before. It was I mean, I really think that was a turning point in my brain as a musician. Is just like seeing how other people interpret and then use and what's the word?
I'm not sure. No, I get what you're saying. Like
add value to your own creative ideas.
Yeah. Nah. Could you see yourself ever coming back to producing a rap album and doing?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I want to produce a rap album every single day. I wake up and I'm like, ooh, what day is it? Okay, nice. What time is it? Ooh, nice. That's a good time I woke up. I want to produce a hip hop album. I wake up every single morning like that.
But you don't like. You've mentioned that you like Yeezus because Jeff Basker did a lot of that production.
Yeezus is just insane.
Nah, it's great.
I love Yeezus.
But you're not like super familiar with like that much hip hop, would you say, or you getting there?
So if today, if a hip hop artist came to me that I knew their work and I respected them and I fucked with their sound.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Yo, can you produce an album for me?"
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Fuck yes." Me going into it, I would want it to be a lot more. Like, okay, I'm obsessed with like the way that Kanye and the way that Jeff Basker and the way that a whole bunch of hip hop producers use like distorted 808s and stuff to create kind of like an alternate reality where it's like this sound could never actually exist in like an actual acoustic space.
Yeah.
And so you're just in another world and you're using this as escapism.
Yeah.
But I would really love to produce like a really high quality hip hop album with like very acoustic sounds. Okay, yeah. With like the drums, instead of like drums being 808s, or like the super compressed kicks. I just like the kind of percussion. I know that the podcast people didn't listen to it, but the kind of drums that you heard last night, like the big band kind of drums. Yeah. I would love to produce a hip hop album with that kind of like drum line. Yeah. And the horns and shit. So that's where I'm at. That's cool. If someone asked me to produce a hip hop album, just like a straight up hip hop album, like a mainstream, like simple, run of the mill hip hop album, I wouldn't do it.
I got good news for you though, cause I do this game now when I ask, like, one of the last questions I ask people, like, who is someone you know that you want to work with and who's someone you don't know that you want to work with. And Adamir, which is the episode coming out before this, I was like, who's someone that you know you want to work with, and he said Sailboat the show.
I love you, Adamir. I talked to you last night. We had a good conversation. We were talking about a collab, and you never got back to me. So that's what I'll say about that. But also, oh my god, I mean the thing is, it's weird, because I'm sorry, I was just being dramatic. I would love to work with you, Adamir. I fucking love you, Adamir. You know that. I want to work with you every day. But we would have to figure out like who's doing the production on what. Yeah. Because it's weird working with other people that are also producers. Yeah. Because production is everything. Production is the space, it's the sound, it's the arrangement, it's the vocal mix, it's everything.
So let's do the game with you. Who's someone who you know that you want to work with, like call him out, and then who's someone that you don't know that you'd love to.
Adamir. I want to work with Adamir.
All right. Anyone other than Adamir or Adamir?
I mean, everyone in the South. I would love to work with Dev. Yeah. I know Mary. I've never talked about it with Mary, or with you.
I've been writing some songs. Maybe. Yeah. Maybe we'll talk after this podcast. Who knows? Who's someone you don't know that you would just love to work with?
Pink.
Pink? Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Neighbors.
That Pink song produced. I don't listen to Pink like that, but a Pink song produced by Sailboat the Show. That'd be fire.
It would make all our other shit look like shit.
Hell yeah.
Who else? Wait, who listens to this? Who can I call out?
Everyone listens to this.
It's a public podcast.
Yeah. It's the return of fake radio, man. Everyone's gonna be going crazy.
Fuck, I can't think of anyone.
That's all good. We got good answers. Yeah. And so I'm gonna leave last
Jonah
question.
Free. I don't know what the fuck what he's doing right now, but
he was mad cool.
Yeah.
We kicked it like right before I started the podcast the first time, and I haven't seen him since.
Yeah, no.
I wonder if he listens
the last
to
time
it.
I checked in with him, he was in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I don't know what's up with him right now, but like, damn, like as a vocalist, damn, he's
For sure.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Word. I'm gonna leave. This is the final question. So you say on the last Boys Only that this is like the happiest you've ever been. What would you say is like an ideal, like ideal perfect day, ideal perfect life for Sailboat the show / Ryan?
let me answer that with a question.
Yeah.
So did that last song in the party last night, did that last song come off as I was happy?
To me a little bit, and then I asked Dev what they thought of the album, and they were like, it's Ryan's happiest album, so maybe. But I don't know what if that wasn't what I
No,
listened to it
that's
one
okay.
time.
That's No, I just fucked up as a songwriter. No, that song was supposed to be sad.
No, it was sad too. Like no, I got it too. Like that. Like I understood it, but I also was like, he's happy, but he's also like sad. Like I understood the complexity and like the sadness of it for me personally. After one listen, I've only listened to it one time, in that setting. But yeah, beyond that though, what in your mind is like the perfect like Ryan life? Like what, if it might be a little personal question, but what in your mind is like ideal, like where you wanna be? You've been many places.
Well, for a long time, I wanted to be like a famous musician.
Yeah.
But then I discovered that like live performance, not only do I not enjoy it, I think it's fucking dumb. And that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. I don't fuck with it. So like, and then it was like, oh well, I'll be like a instrumentally good musician. And then I discovered production. I discovered GarageBand when I was 11 years old.
Yep.
And I started making mashups. Shout out to DJ Earworm.
DJ Earworm.
Yep. And that kind of went out the window. I'm kind of.
If you don't,
I
like,
don't.
have an
I don't
answer,
know.
then yeah. No, that's fair. That's
None
fair.
of us know.
No,
Who
that's
fucking
true.
knows?
Yeah.
But I know what I don't know.
Yeah.
Or that was the wrong way to say that. I know what I don't want.
Yeah.
And I don't want like a life of like touring. Like that is the most disgusting thing to me. And I respect the hell out of people that do it. Oh my god, that takes so much energy and concentration.
That's true.
And
like I've thought
discipline.
about it,
like oh my god, that's
that sounds
insane.
fun, but to do that multiple times, I think is crazy.
So I don't want that, and I just don't want. I had a career for many years of performing live every night for a whole bunch of fucking Boy Scouts. And like there were good days where the performance was good, and there were bad days when the performance was bad. And like I found that like my entire emotional mental state was affected by like whether the show went good or bad. And if the show went bad, like I wouldn't sleep that night. And that's just unhealthy.
For real, yeah.
That is incredibly unhealthy. And if that were my life, but with way more stakes, I cannot even imagine how I would emotionally and mentally deal with that.
No, for real, yeah. No, that's valid. Well, folks, I could talk to Sailboat the show.
Wait, can I answer my question like 20 seconds? I want to be Jeff Basker. I won't.
You wanna be Jeff Basker?
Not Jeff Basker. I'm sorry, I mixed up my names. Jack Antonoff. I want to be Jack Antonoff. I want to just like be in the background and produce people's shit and like live in an apartment in New York and like cook ramen. That's all I want.
Would you want to like? No, that's that. Would you want to like songwrite too, like ghostwrite for people? Because I know like Jack Antonoff does a little.
I would, yeah. Like I would. That would.
We gotta make that happen. We gotta get you. We gotta find more people who who want to collab with Sailboat.
The thing that worries me about ghostwriting is like I don't know how many other musicians I know that would like, if I were to write a song with them, that they would like fuck with it.
That's true. A lot of people
like I feel like
look
I
down
have
upon
a very
ghostwriting.
weird. No, like I feel like I have a very weird writing style.
Oh, okay. I got
And like
you.
also my voice is very weird, so I write for my voice. So I think I would have to adjust to other people.
That's true. No.
But also, that would be a fun challenge. If anybody wants me to ghostwrite for them that's listening to this, I am open.
Hit him up. We actually have made, believe it or not, we have made like collaborations and music like happen from this show.
Mm-hmm.
And season 3, we're coming back hard and strong. This is crazy shit's gonna happen.
Hit me up. I live in Phoenix. It's not like I have friends. I have lots of time.
Yeah. Are you? Yeah. So, are you trying to move out of Phoenix? Move to LA in the future?
Who knows? That's a long question. That is very boring and not podcast worthy.
That is a long question. I think we're gonna end it here, folks. Stream Boys Only on all DSPs. Stream Wifely Duties. When you think the third one's coming out?
It would probably February. It would be nice to have like a single year that they all come out.
Yeah. Because the first one came out in Wifely Duties came out February 2022. So then that's smart. All right, yo, everyone better follow Sailboat the show. Follow him on TikTok. Follow him on Instagram. All that good stuff. And until next time, I'm Rax Kills. Easy out.